Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video we're going to be talking about the upcoming Uma that'll be dropping alongside Grand Live, as well as kind of slightly mentioning the support card banners that are coming up if you haven't already heard about them. So with Grand Live, it will be releasing alongside Light Hello and Agness Tachyon, a support card banner you've probably heard tons about, as well as the new Uma that's coming out that may have not been mentioned by too many people at this point because she's being overshadowed, and that is going to be Smart Falcon, the Grand Live version. And so when it comes to the support cards, I've already made a couple videos on them, and we've already seen a lot of other people going into depth on them. All you need to know is pull on this banner. Must pull banner. It's your scenario tax. How many pulls you do will kind of depend on whether you're free to play or a spender or whatnot, and what you currently have as your current deck, and where your current situation. So you can watch my prior videos on it, or a lot of the other content creators that have covered it. Just know, big must pull banner. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get into the actual main reason for this video, as I have not talked about her yet. And I really haven't seen too many other people talking about her because of the Light Hello Agness Tachyon banner. And that is Smart Falcon Grand Live. So Smart Falcon, we already know Smart Falcon has been tried and true for a lot of people. A very strong Uma on the OG one that has been strong in even the turf ones, being Turf E, so very easy to get her up to being enough to do turfs, but also very strong on the dirt, was very strong on the last Aquarius Cup. And so we want to kind of see how is the Grand Live version compared to the OG version. Now, one of her biggest shortfalls is, I mean, we just had Kopano Ricky drop, which is basically the dirt monster. So how does she compare to her? And if you're a big meta player, especially like me, where does she fit alongside Kopano Ricky? And is she very usable in the upcoming CMs and, of course, League of Heroes, if you end up picking her up? And so right off the bat, we kind of look at the stat bonuses here. She does have speed bonus of 20%, 10% in guts. I'm really never a fan of bonuses in speed, at least currently with how the scenarios have been. I prefer power bonus. It's not going to be, to me, as big of a deal going into Grand Live because you're trying to get 1600 speed. And so you're not going to have the same problem that I've seen a lot, especially in Unity Cup, where you can hit the speed cap while not even being close to the power cap if you don't have a lot of power sparks. So a little bit more easy, makes it a little easier in Grand Live itself to get your speed, but it always sucks to be missing power bonus. I don't really like that. When it comes to her attitudes, the same thing with Smart Falcon that we've seen. She has Turf E, Dirt A. She is very good, in my opinion, as a potential dirt rotator. Her rotation for doing it's different than a lot of the others. She wants great grandparents that have, of course, turf sparks and long sparks. But if you're able to get those sparks kind of built into your great grandparent chains and set her up for success, she can easily do every single race to get that maximum affinity out of the dirt rotations. So very nice there. She's basically in the similar vein to, I would compare her to like even Christmas or Ogre Cap and El Condor Pasa, just needing a little bit more work to make her work. And of course, when you do that with her, absolutely want to get Turf A. And I think if you take her to Turf A, the highest you can get her here is Long C. But Long C is plenty fine to win, like have like an 80+% win rate on every single race, with most of them being 100%. Now, when it comes into her as actually as an Uma herself, when it comes to her ult here, now I actually really kind of like the OGs a little bit more, as it was always a protection skill. She gets into the lead early race, very strong on those miles, because then she protects her position with her ult with that acceleration and speed increase. And then usually in like the Tokyo, that tight turn, nobody could ever pass you, and she was able to very easily hold first place most of the time. This one is a more a mid-race skill here. So moderately increasing your velocity steadily when positioned towards the lead around halfway through the race, and then moderately recover endurance if it's a dirt race, which is going to be very convenient on dirt races, especially coming up into this first dirt race being a medium. where stamina debuffs are becoming much, much stronger. One of the reasons Christmas Ogre Cap's going to be so strong because of how many heals she has coming in to help keep her alive. She's got the same kind of scenario here in that she has a built-in heal on her ult for the dirt, 0.035. And then Happy DR, thanks for the follow. Has a big heal at 0.035. You compare this with, of course, if you're bringing Super Creek, which I think a lot of people will, swing a Maestro, and that'll make her much more survivable in the dirt. Plus, having a 6-second 0.25 speed increase is pretty nice to help keep her in the lead there. Now, when you kind of come down into here, she has like your typical skills to make her a pretty decent frontrunner. Always nice to have frontrunner corners. It makes it much easier for her to keep herself in the lead. Top pick with All My Soul. With All My Soul being kind of tricky, I mean, it's not all that good. I mean, we've seen that with even the gold version that you have on, I think it's Agness Fujin. Not very impactful, but it does exist. It's something you could take if you have extra skill points. Got the Spirit, trending in the charts, really big speed skill. Dust Cloud, a nice little debuff with the decrease current speed for the girl closest behind you, so pushing them back. Just another way to help keep her in the lead. And then be in the center, a gamble acceleration for her that she can pair alongside with angling and scheming or whatever is the current acceleration options for her at the time. And then, of course, you have all the event stuff that your OG one has as well kind of built into her, I believe. As well as also having Kawasaki Racecourse Stamina. One of your greens right there, built in as a front runner for groundwork. But pretty much your typical stuff you see with the OG Smart Falcon. And then if we get evolutions early, some of her evolutions she turns her trending in the charts to also have a stamina recovery, and then evolves the gamble acceleration to be an even bigger acceleration at 0.5. And then her second evolution she'll get down the road makes it an even bigger speed increase right here. And so, what the heck, this one thing's popping up. It's not showing on stream, so it'll be fine there. But that's pretty much her kit here. Now, you already know Kopano Riki is kind of the dirt queen. So if you're a very big meta, I mean, definitely Kopano Riki is stronger than her outright with how strong her unique is. But this Smart Falcon will see the meta. And it's not really the CMs where she's the big meta. I mean, now you can pair her alongside Kopano Riki, of course, if you're not wanting to go the debuff route with a lot of people. But when it comes to if you actually want to be a try-hard in League of Heroes, the Dirt CM of League of Heroes 5 right now, and this is Henry Handsome's kind of guide here, just know that we have to take everything on this with a grain of salt because of them giving us stuff early. Things could change. We could get certain evolutions early, certain skills early that could change this. But I think the Dirts are a little bit more straightforward, somewhat, than the others. And when it comes to League of Heroes, as you already know if you haven't looked into it at all, League of Heroes, unlike CM, you actually care about all three of your Umas doing well because you get points based on how all of them place. So not only is Kopano Riki, of course, going to be the big meta Uma that's going to do very well here, you will see Smart Falcon Grand Live also be one of those meta Umas. And if you're wanting the super tryhard, especially if you're a heavier spender, because of course to me, Smart Falcon Grand Live is a more Dolphin one, as she is paired with the Grand Live banner, and as well as having Kopano Riki right before her, she's a very good pickup for this one. Now, the one thing with it though is League of Heroes 5 is during the Project Lark scenario, and so she is a potential pickup if you're willing to spend money on a Uma selector, and so you can just skip her for now. Use your Kopano Riki for the Dirts CMs, or Christmas Ogre Cap, of course, who's also pretty good in the next one, and then just pick her up on a selector for this specific one here. But outside of that, she does kind of fall off when you look at the other ones. By the time we get to the next Dirt one, which is the League of Heroes 11, we'll have the next version of Smart Falcon, the Parade version, who's going to be super meta on this one. And based on this chart, I mean, I don't know enough about Parade Smart Falcon, but based on this chart, when it comes to the Umas that are being strong on this one, Kopano Riki actually gets surpassed by Smart Falcon. They have her rated 5 stars, probably built specifically for this track. The farther we get into this game, the more track-specific Umas get. And so she really is like a true meta for one single League of Heroes there. But overall, she's also not terrible. If she's an Oshi, of course, you want to pick up your Oshis. She's not going to perform completely terribly. Just know that Kopana Riki will surpass her in most ways. But that's just my thoughts there. I mean, when it comes to should you pull, to me, she's an easy skip for now. If you really want her, pick her up on a selector down the road if you're willing to spend. And that's pretty much it at that point. That is Smart Falcon. And like I already said at the very beginning, Light Hello, Agness Tachyon. You already know. You need to pull on this banner. There's so many other people that have covered it. I'm not going over them again for like the 5th time. And that'll be pretty much it for this video on whether or not you should pull for Smart Falcon and Agness Tachyon and Light Hello. So if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.